My name is David Sloan, and I am the Chief Technology Officer for Microsoft, covering worldwide public sector and specifically focused on global market development. I come to this position with about 30 years of experiencing implementations in various public sector IT projects. So let's be clear, the cloud is a tool. It's not a religion, it's not a fad, it's just a tool. But it is a very powerful tool that has fundamentally changed the economics of IT in ways that are going to transform the industry, all industries, for a long time to come. So what are those transformations? There are a number of them, but I'll concentrate on three, specifically agility, security, and the pipeline of innovation. So what do I mean by agility? In classic on-premise IT, the estimation, procurement, installation, configuration, integration, certification, and rollout of the infrastructure for new systems is slow, costly, and very error-prone. More importantly, it's not core mission competence, right? If you're a hospital, your core mission competence is healing patients, not rolling out IT. If you're a factory, your core mission competence is manufacturing, not rolling out IT. If you're a chicken restaurant, your core mission competence is cooking delicious chicken, not rolling out IT. And if you're in public sector, your core mission competence is serving the public, delivering great citizen service, providing more for the people that have the least in society, and protecting the public welfare, or all of these wonderful things, but not rolling out IT. So letting the cloud handle all that annoying work for you, letting you focus on your core mission competence and allowing you to spin up new applications, systems, and services in minutes and days, not months and years. And if it's an experiment and it doesn't work, you shut it down immediately and start again. You have the complete freedom to try a new approach the next day. That's really the agility that the cloud brings to the public sector. For security, everyone struggles with cybersecurity, and Italy is no exception. And the public sector is a target to an extent that we've never really seen before. Cloud helps ensure that the actions that are needed to secure the public sector against hackers, ransomware, advanced persistent threats are taken in a way that is uniform and is repeated in a timely, automated, and comprehensive fashion every single time. Microsoft's clouds have over 100 security certifications, over 10,000 security professionals who worry about this all the time so you don't have to. It's absolutely core to our offering. So Microsoft is constantly investing research and investment in increasing defenses for our cloud and hence for our cloud customers. The pipeline of innovation refers to the change in the delivery method for new discoveries via the cloud. Previous to the cloud, we may have had a release once a year or so that contained new features and our latest upgrades. And it may have taken your organization or a public sector agency months or even years to upgrade that software. The cloud delivers continuous integration and continuous delivery, also known as CI/CD, which means that you're constantly receiving the benefit of our latest and greatest efforts. As we debut new cognitive services or upgrades to our machine learning studio, you have access to them immediately without additional procurements or setup. The public sector is dealing with tough problems and it needs a broad variety of tough tools to tackle those problems. The cloud delivers those tools faster and stronger than any previous IT architecture that we could have dreamed of. Now, there are a lot of other benefits to the cloud, but even just in those three, we can see how it enables better delivery of government operations. We've seen this during COVID, that cloud-based services have allowed quick responses to emerging needs, and citizens are coming to expect governments to operate in this way, and businesses need them in order to operate in this way to remain competitive. Microsoft's hybrid cloud is an important subset of these overall features, which says that this hyperscale cloud is a dramatic new way of doing business, of adopting technology, and it's going to take time, and it's going to need to make certain concessions and compromises with national interests and national priorities. Hybrid cloud is the set of technologies that allows for the time to make that transition in an evolutionary way and has the flexibility to say, Maybe there's certain aspects of my architecture that are never moving to the cloud, but I still need to maintain interoperability and security and maintainability of those elements. And in those areas, Microsoft really has industry-leading offerings. So when working with governments around the world, we see three foundational areas that need to be addressed in order to deliver in a modern way and to take advantage of the opportunities that are offered. Using cloud-based services allows us to manage data more effectively, collaborate with different departments and levels of government, and offer better citizen services. That means taking a fresh look at some traditional ways of working and being open to new structures, cultures, and skills. So on the people and culture side, skilling is a very important topic. We need tech skills to make sure that IT staff continue to grow modern skills and be valuable, and digital skills and understanding for other staff. It's not just about engineers, but for program managers and decision makers as well, so that they understand the art of the possible and can design systems that are going to take advantage of the unique aspects that cloud brings to the table. We need the commitments of leaders, right, to learn new skills so that informed discussions can take place. This is no longer just a question for a CIO. All leaders must have a certain level of digital and technical understanding in the same way that all leaders are expected to understand the finances of their organization. Cloud is no different. From a governance perspective, we see that we need transformation in data governance. Do the existing security classifications, for example, give the best possible insight into how sensitive data is and what controls may need to be applied to different types of data? Are public servants using these consistently? Having clarity on data classification allows technology decisions to be made on a consistent basis. And understanding which data really does fall into the most sensitive categories allows focus to be placed on protecting that appropriately. Also, as digital services are being redesigned for citizens, there are opportunities to work across departments, agencies, or even levels of government. Like, do the internal government structures need to be reviewed in order to incentivize this way of working? And finally, I would say, from a procurement perspective, is there a way to procure cloud services effectively? Because cloud spend is different, radically different than classical IT spend. So procurement groups need to be part of this planning process and transformation as well. So while broader organizational changes are happening and support's being built, you should look for areas where you can start to build on the future. And Italy certainly has good roots for this. But we want to start off by building skills in the IT team. We certainly have resources that can help with that. And government departments that already have people who are highly skilled with deep understanding of current systems need to support them and build their skills so that they can evolve together with the technology. So some of the difficulties that we see when countries are adopting cloud can be avoided with a couple of very basic steps. The first is giving clear and unambiguous guidance for staff on the use of the cloud. This involves things like cloud-first policy, clear executive sponsorship and backing of cloud initiatives. But for as long as there is a lack of clarity, there is a lack of progress. A second thing is the openness of leadership to learning about technology and digital approaches, as opposed to always pushing it off to the CIO or the CTO. So that allows leaders to re-examine the conventional wisdom and really imagine new horizons, as well as being willing to slaughter some of the sacred cows, some of the systems that may have served us well for years, but are simply not up to date and not taking advantage of the current technology and the current advancement in processes. And finally, I would say a balanced approach to risk and the recognition that there's a risk to change. There's always a risk to change, but there's also tremendous risks associated with the status quo. And this public sector and public servants are conservative by nature, right? Inherently, they try to protect the status quo because government is not intended to change rapidly or with fads until something goes wrong and a crisis requires that rapid response, as in COVID. But understanding that there is a certain amount of risk involved in staying the way things are, because the threat environment around us is evolving so quickly, quicker than I think we've ever seen before in history. So we need to balance those risks of change with the risks of staying the same. So I think we are on the cusp of dramatic changes in terms of the permission to use the cloud in the public sector, as well as the pervasiveness of the cloud in the public sector in Italy. We are on the precipice of tremendous adoption, and I think it's not a moment too soon. The innovators and the early adopters of cloud technology in Italy and around the world have shown what's possible, and citizens and businesses are coming to expect it, and they're coming to demand it, and they should raise their expectations. This is a global improvement in the agility and responsiveness of government and the public sector, and there's no reason that Italy shouldn't be at the forefront of that movement.